Hello everybody, and before we start with the video I want to put out a disclaimer. In this video you will see all the recording mixed with new recordings, whereof you will see videos with the old spin value. Have in mind that you can take that spin value and divide by 2.33 to get the new spin value, and the reason I do that is to be able to provide you a playthrough before the tournament starts. So have that in mind when you're looking at this playthrough, and if you have any type of questions, send us an email to support@golfclashtommy.com. So let's go to the video. Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division in the Summer Major Tournament here in Golf Clash the Game, recorded from the hotel, and I'm going to give you my best possible advice here before the tournament starts. The video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. Last but not least, get the best guides on the market. Go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy to get the ultimate tour and tournament text guides for all the divisions and all the tours. And follow the info box on the right hand side. You will see the elevation adjustment, the club distance adjustment, what type of ball and club type is going to be the best as well. You obviously don't have to follow what I do suggest, but there's always plan behind it. And in the end though, if you can hit thumbs up on the video so we can get up to 100 thumbs up, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go to hole number one. For hole number one, we can see a completely new version of hole number one, which I would say I enjoy more than the last time, and that is only because of the green. First and foremost, if you do have crosswind or you have tailwind, you are going to try to attempt to go over on the right side, go over the water completely. If you do have a headwind, as I am having here in this example, I would recommend you to play on the left hand side, trying to use as much top spin possible and as much then side spin left possible as well. Only reason I'm using only 4.5 bar top spin is to display the same shot as we would be doing with a lower level extra mile, because there isn't going to be the majority that play in the from front tee that do have an extra mile level 8 or better. But if you do have an extra mile level 8, use as much topspin that you possibly can, so use all the 6 bars. Then I'd go with half a ball of curl left, and I also want you to push the drive hard with overpower. Use 3 to 5 range of overpower. In a direct headwind I would use maximum, and the reason for that is that we do want to get up to a point where we don't have the bunkers in play. So look here now, the bunkers are in play, and we're gonna have to play very close to the bunker to be able to have even a a remotely close shot towards the pin. So I'm aiming very close to the bunker. I am going to adjust. I'm also going to adjust a little curl, but I would strongly recommend you to once again push the drive harder so you can get further up, so you then can go directly at pin, so you don't struggle there by the bunkers. Once again though, if we do have a tailwind or a crosswind, so we can reach over on the right side when it comes to our drive over the water directly, then we're gonna do that all the time. And once again, the reason we do so is because we're going to have a much better chance to attacking the pin. If we're going to have to lay up, it's going to be a max distance sniper, 10% over adjustment. Power 3 ball is going to be suggested. You can get away with playing with a lower type of ball as well, but once again, power 3 ball would be my go-to ball. For hole number two, the green has slightly been changed, but not that much. So the way that we're gonna play is not going to change. We are going to use as much side spin to the right possible, and preferably using a side spin too as a minimum when it comes to our ball. So here I'm using a ball, video with an old spin value on. So this would be the same as using 2 bars of side spin to the right. Half of the red ring inside the rough. If using a sniper, you're gonna look for having the red ring by the rough instead, because the accuracy is different with the Viper and the Sniper. Looking to use half a ball of curl to the right, but the thing that we do need to have as a little tweak here is that I would like you to play With a side spin 2 ball, we go with 3/4 of a ball outside the adjustment ring to the right in curl. And if we do have a side spin 3 ball, we do have half a ball outside the adjustment ring to the right, based on that we're using max side spin on both type of balls. Max distance with a 10% over adjustment is what we are looking for, and that's what we're gonna go for. And this is going to be one of the better chances, in my opinion, going for an hole-in-one here for the Southern Pines. For hole number 3, we're going to look at the drive twice, and this is because we do have just a few seconds here on this drive. Here, we're going to go full blast right down the middle. Those of you playing with a better driver will be having a massive advantage here. And what do I mean with a better driver? Better driver means that you have more power, which is 1, more topspin, which is 2. Because here it doesn't really matter accuracy, it doesn't really matter backspin, curl, and stuff like that, because we do have probably the most widest fairway that is in the whole game. And here we do need to try to get as far down the fairway as possible. The further down, the better it's going to be. Here, I would say that if you do have stocked up a few berserker balls from playing the golden shot, or maybe winning it in a tournament, or whatever, then I would recommend you to use a ball like that, because power 5 will help you with power, especially those with clubs like I'm showing here with an extra mile level 5. Because extra mile level 5, look, we are like miles away to be on the top of the fairway, and that's going to be a problem for us now for the second shot. Elevation is going to be 10%, and we're playing maximum distance numbers, and the best way to do this type of shot is to adjust, push up to max, and then take your shot. Second shot, we do once again need power. And here you can see the problem with playing with an XMI level 5. Once again, having a driver with more topspin, or maybe playing with a ball with more power, that will give you more distance, and therefore we will be able to play bouncing over the bunker instead of having to go on the side. Now I'm forced to play on the side here of the bunker because once again, I don't really have the equipment for going to the green. And here you maybe have already counted out that this is going to be a very difficult par 5 to make an eagle one consistently, especially once again if you do not have the equipment for it. Obviously, with a bad grade right, then I will see myself into the rough. Otherwise, what's the plan to get up to the top right of the green? As you can see there, that the ball can then fall down slightly towards the pin for a simple putt for an eagle. But this second shot, max overpower with a low accuracy club like the big dog, is always going to be very difficult. So equipment, club, and ball, very, very important. If you get an eagle here, you definitely have an advantage over your opponent, as this hole ain't easy, even though we have one of the easiest drives, because whatever what you do with your drive, you will not get into the rough. So berserker ball, most focus, minimum power 3 ball. For hole number 4, we're going to play on the right-hand side. Here I'm using a Titan to be able to play with the quarterback. And why do I want to play with the quarterback? It's because it does have a very good accuracy and also a very good curl. Because now we're going to utilize the quarterback's curl to be able to go over to the right-hand side. Sure, you can go on the left-hand side, kind of position yourself up for a rough bump on the left, but I do value going right side big time, as that will open up a shot directly at pin for a good chance for an eagle. We do play maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment is what we do. And here you can see once again, I play with a Titan. We could play with a Katana as well, as using a lot of side spin will help tremendously on this type of shot. Now for the second shot, we're gonna play with our Viper or Sniper. I would strongly recommend you to play with the Sniper if you do have it in level 7 plus. Otherwise, you can definitely play with the Viper as well. Why do I want us to play with the Sniper level 7 plus? Like that I think is superior than the Viper. It's because in Sniper level 7 you do get 4.5 ball guideline, and then you will prevent yourself from having a ball guideline that do not reach to the pin, which means that you will have to guesstimate the adjustment that you're gonna use with spin and also with position. This shot is going to be generally in medium distance with no elevation whatsoever, as we're not playing uphill or downhill. And of course, make sure to try to hit perfect. Once again, sniper is the key club, max plus 10 for the drive, mid with no elevation for the second shot. You can use the katana or the titan here. You obviously can use other type of balls as well, but those two is free to play balls and will work beautifully playing out there to the right. For hole number 5, they have removed the tiny island inside the water, so that bounce over is not longer a possibility. Also, the right side approach have also been changed because now the green does not give you that slope as you're used to, which is going to make it very difficult for you to actually get close to green if playing right side. So now the two ways of playing is either rough bump or the left hand side. And I'm going to give you the rough bump here where I'm actually going to, you see, you aim into the sand because the sand and the rough all together is acting as rough. So you actually have pretty wide margin for error here with your adjustment. And we're going to take a look at this shot twice because it's a nice one. We bounce nicely in there. We just snuck in left hand side for an hole in one. So let's start that one over. You see that the island is removed. We are here playing with the sniper level 10, which obviously is not more like a common club when it comes to playing from front tee. Half a bar of a backspin is used and no side spin whatsoever. And here in the end, I'm moving around a little bit, try to find the spot. And in the end, we're going to have to go with a 1.5 bar backspin and a little bit of side spin to the left. If you do play with a lower level sniper, like a 6, 7, I would recommend a power 3 ball to not go in between clubs. If you do have a higher level sniper, like here in this example, like sniper 8, 9, 10, a power 2 ball would be, the only thing that is needed for this nice little shot. So either you go for the rough bump or you go left hand side, bounce over to the green. I will go for the rough bump because I do believe that's going to be the best chance for us making an hole in one here for hole number 5. For hole number 6, I'm going to play this hole based on having lower level clubs. And here I play with an Exuma level 5. And first you can see playing on the right hand side is going to be a possibility, but I would recommend you here to have minimum 6 bars of topspin. Otherwise you will not roll through the rough and then you get stuck there and then you will have a massive problem getting that ball to green in two. So I choose to go left side max right side spin. I'm using somewhere between 1 to 2 bars of backspin, all depending on what club I'm having. I want to focus on the second bounce to be just above that little output from the rough on the right to get in the correct spot. Maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment, and my goal is to get this ball as close to the top right possible. Those of you that can play with a Kingmaker should do so, and the reason for that is that you do have side spin 3, and that will help you tremendously when it comes to the second shot. Because the second shot is basically just a shot that we're going to transport ourselves down to the green. We're not looking for an albatross here, we're looking for a safe eagle, because once again, we play with lower level clubs, and the problems for us is that we will not be having the possibility to do any type of shot for the drive more than playing out to the left. Sure, there will be players that are watching this that are going to wonder why do you not suggest a power I must see, it must be a powered slice to go in the middle. Yeah, sure, we could do so, but then that would require some skill because there is plenty of trees in your face. So that would never be my first suggestion. But in a tournament situation, I would not see a problem with trying out a power hook, a power slice from the start to see if you can get you into a different spot and therefore have a much easier time going for pin, trying to get an albatross from distance. But as a start, we need to lock in the eagle, and that's why I suggest the left side route, where it shouldn't be a problem for us to get an eagle, even though it's tough. Second shot, just to summarize that, no elevation, we play max distance, max curl to the right, and we're gonna play somewhere between 3 to 5 bars of topspin with max side spin to the right. Very, very important. Then you will get yourself to green, have an easy putt for an eagle, and when your opponent are struggling, getting into the rough or into the sun, we will be there having an advantage over them. For hole number 7, we're going to take a look at the right side as a start. Have in mind that this hole has been going through a complete revamp, and it's going to be very interesting to see how we're going to attack this hole in a tournament situation. But let's look at the right side here. And the reason I jumped over to the right side is that I have been having very good success playing for the rough bump here, but you're gonna notice that the rough bump is going to be played massively different than before. First and foremost, we play maximum distance plus 10 for the drive. I'm playing with a navigator here to reduce the wind, but also keep myself with a power 1. Now I'm aiming for the ball to bounce on the fairway over to the top right corner of the other fairway, because as you most likely can see here now when we look at the pin, it wasn't possible to see, but if you look at the start of the video, then you will see that the trees has a risk of being in your face if you do come in too much to the left. Second shot is going to be played massively downhill, and here I'm go by 30% over adjustment based on club distance. So if I am in maximum distance of my club, then I play max distance. If I am min distance, mid distance, etc. And now I'm trying to aim for the pin. The problem here with this green is that this slopes right to left. So now when we're aiming directly at pin, we will come in with a decent speed, but the problem is that we're gonna miss massively to the left due to not compensating enough for the sloping green. And that's the difficult part here with this type of shot, that, you know, first and foremost, we don't have a fully developed ball guideline, and therefore we're gonna see our ball falling down much more left, though, because we cannot compensate for it in the same way. See, speed wise we're coming nicely, but look how much it slopes there and also rolls us down to the fringe. You will not have any problem staying on the fringe, though, but that was nowhere near to get that ball in the hole. But that's why we do have another option, which I in the end though would be having as the first and suggested option that we're gonna see my opponent play in just a bit. Now we're gonna go to the left, and here we're gonna take a look at our opponent's shot here directly. So it's not me playing here, but I think this is a perfect way to display a way to play on the left hand side. First, max topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. Playing with a power 3 ball I would not recommend, because we don't really need that type of distance. Power 1 ball is enough in my opinion. Using, in this case, a decent amount of curl is my opponent doing, trying to push the ball to get to the right, or like as far right possible. And that I do agree with, because the closer we get to the green to the right there, the better it's going to be with our club. If we do play with a power 3 ball with that type of drive, then we will see ourselves playing with a Thorn or Hornet, Falcon, or whatever short arm we are using in maximum distance. If we do play with a power 1 ball, we're most likely going to end up in minimum distance with our long iron. And here it's all about what type of ball guideline we do have on our club, because that will help tremendously. Have in mind that the green slopes right to left here. So look at the ball guideline, and you can see here that our opponent putting it into the hole, and it does look like there is a little funnel there when he pulls left and right there, but not maybe that super duper big though, but a little bit at least. When it comes to the shot, play it max plus 10, exactly as the drive if you are in max distance. Otherwise you play min, depending on what type of club distance that you're having. Bouncing, and just miss that one to the right. So this, in my opinion, is perfect way to display the way to play to the left. I recommend the left side approach, just because the right side rough bump will be very difficult to get dialed in. So for hole number 8, the final of the par 3s, here I want you to play with the rocket if you do have it in level 10. The reason for that is its enormous backspin, which will help you tremendously by taking away all the obstacles that is on this very tough hole of the Southern Pines. Here I'm using 1.5 bar topspin 4.5 bar side spin to the left. And I would say here we would only need to play with half a bar of topspin when it comes to crosswind. 1.5 bar topspin we should be using if we do have headwind, and in tailwind I would recommend to use no topspin whatsoever, just the 4.5 bar side spin. And for those of you that are noticing, obviously this is the old type of spin, so 4.5 bar side spin to the left is equal 2 bars of side spin with the new spin value. So the side spin there is definitely very, very helpful. Medium distance, 10% over adjustment. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, play with the rocket if you do have it at level 10. But I do understand that, you know, not every player that are watching this video that are playing from front tee will be having the possibility to play with the rocket in that type of level. So we do need to have that in mind. But as a thought to have in mind when you play this hole, if you do have it, tremendous um, advantage over your opponent, as once again you take away the bunker and the rough completely from play. Very tough par 3 to make an hole in one on, and a birdie will definitely be the most common score. Hole 9 is another very, very long par 5, and here I want us to play with the big topper if that's a possibility. And doesn't matter if it's a level 1 or if it's a level 7, I want us to play with a big topper for the sole purpose of having a lot of topspin. So use as much topspin possible. You stretch out as far as you can, and obviously to not into the rough, but just to be just before the rough. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance plus 10 with a power 3 ball. And power 3 ball, just to have that mentioned, you don't have to play with a power 3 ball. Here you can play with a power 4 or power 5 if you have the possibility to play with any type of special ball. And the reason I say that is because once again, the second shot becomes way easier if you do have a ball with power, or extra power here for the second shot, because now we are in a range where, you know, we can play two ways. Okay, one, we can just land that ball just on the green on the side of the rough, but as the rough is in the way, bouncing over the rough will mean that the ball coming too hot. So if we're gonna go for pin, we do need to get the ball into the rough, roll out to the pin, and then hopefully get an albatross. And that shot is very, very difficult to manage. So you will have to decide here to either you go for an albatross with a difficult, double bounce rough bump, or that you go with just a layup shot to the green on the right, and then you just take the eagle. Now we land on the fringe because we do not come into the rough as we want to, and that's going to happen more times than not. But then it's just important that you make that little wedge. If you do have a power 4, power 5 ball and play with more superior clubs here from front tee, you will be able to maybe go with a single rough bump as you will reach further. But if you can, play with a better ball. But if not, minimum a power 3 ball, Titan or Kingmaker, which is free to play. Big topper is definitely key for the drive. Then second shot, big dog, but also as another club to be able to think about is the Horizon, which will definitely be a good club. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division here in Gold Clash the Game. The Summer Major is the tournament, and we're gonna play a full 9 of the Southern Pines. And here I will give you from the hotel the best possible adjustment here before the tournament starts. Have in mind that some of the holes are, you know, older videos to be able to provide you this playthrough this quickly, and therefore they have the old spin value. So have that in mind, and to an easy way to have in mind is that to count it out yourself. If you do have five spin bars used, then you divide it by 2.33 to get a new spin value. That is something that you can have in mind going forward. Otherwise, you know, you will obviously see a new updated version of the rookie playthrough once the tournament starts. Video sponsored by Gold Clash and Playdemic. A massive thank you for watching, and good luck in your Gold Clash game.